Hello everyone, this is Ryan, and in this video, basically what I wanted to do um, is like to help you guys learn to code. I thought like a good idea would be to go and do a bunch of examples, and we're gonna be using Python. Uh, so before we start the video, let's start and let's try and reach 1K subscribers. So this is the goal. And with that in mind, let's get started. So I found this website. It's called etabyte.com or etabits, I don't know. And what it does basically gives you a bunch of challenges. Um, and this way we could practice coding together. So what I want you guys to do is to go on this website and basically try and figure out the solution along with me. All right, so let's get started. And here I already started with oh, hold on. So you go on Google, you type, I found this website here, 2000 plus challenges using Python. We're going to start with very easy problems for this video, but as we go along, if the series is popular, we could go to hard, very hard, experts, and really get our hands dirty. All right. Let's start with this problem. All right. So basically, we have to read this. This is an introduction on how challenges on edible work. So this is just an introduction. So let's skip the introduction. All right. So um, we don't really need that. All right. So let's start with this. All right. Create a function that takes two numbers as argument and returns their sum. So if we put in 3 and 2, it returns 5. Minus 3 and minus 6, it returns minus 9. 3 and 7 and 3 returns 10. So basically here is our function. We use the keyword def for defining a function in Python, the name of the function and the two arguments. Hold on, let's go back. And here, the solution is very simple. Basically, we have to return a plus b. Now let's check it. And we get the correct answer. So let's move on to the next challenge. This is way too easy, but we have to start slow. We don't want to uh, burn any steps. All right, fix the code in the code tab to pass the challenge. Only syntax errors. All right, so obviously what this function does is it takes the input and it cubes it, sends it to a third power. So obviously the error is here, return, it's typo, see I can't even type myself, return. All right, so this should work. All right, so this is way too easy. Let's go to medium and start our next challenge. I know you guys know the basics, and what we really want to do is like do something a little bit more complicated. What is this? Let's skip this. This is how Etabyte works. We already know how it works. All right, so find the perimeter of a rectangle and given the length and the width. So that's easy. So perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. This is very basic math. And what we got to do is return all of that. We don't need parentheses. Should do it. Because of the order of operation, it does the multiplication first. So it does these two, and then it adds the result together. All right, let's keep going. It's I think after this we're going to be moving to something a little bit harder because even the medium problems aren't hard enough for us. But we might be surprised, so let's just be patient here. Alright, there's a single operator in Python capable of providing the remainder of a division operation. Two numbers are passed as parameter. First parameter divided by the second parameter will have a remainder, possibly 0. Return that value. So hold on, let me read that again. Which one is divided by which? The first parameter divided by the second parameter. Okay, so basically, if we divide 7 by 2, so 6 divided by 2 is 3, so there's a remainder of 1. This is 0, okay. And this basically, since the number is that we divide first, so the denominator is greater than the numerator, or the number at the bottom is greater than the number at the top, we just return the number at the top. Otherwise, we return what's left of the division. And this operator is called the modulus operator, and it's this percentage sign. And if you go here, you type in Python modulo, and it returns basically it's this sign right here. And it's basically it does what the instruction said. It does a division, and then whatever is left of division, it turns that number. For example, if we divide like 9 by 2, basically it's like dividing 8 by 2 gives you 4, which is a whole number. So you do 4 times 2 gives you 8. 8 and 9 difference is 1, it returns 1. Hope that's clear enough. It gives you basically what's left of the division. So basically, like, if let's say it gives you dividing, let me show you here. If you divide 9 by 2, you get 4.5. The 0.5 here is what's left of the division, but it doesn't return 0.5, it returns it like as a whole number. So basically, like, let me try and explain it better. 4.5, you take off the 0.5, you only have 4, and then you do 4 times 2, which is 8, and then what's left is the 1. Yeah, I think that's more clear. Let's go to hard problems now. I want problems with like for loops and arrays. That's the type of stuff that I want. This is the complicated stuff. This is the easy stuff. We all know the easy stuff. If you don't, here's an opportunity to learn. This is what I don't like about this website. It takes forever to load. My speed slow. I have slow internet. Alright, so there's a problem. Write a function that takes an integer, minutes, and converts it to seconds. This is still too easy. Alright, so minutes to seconds, that's pretty easy. Return minutes times 60, because we have 60 seconds in every minute. Let me check my internet. Yeah, I feel like I have slow internet. Great. The problem isn't coming from them, it's from me. Nice. Let me use this one. Maybe this one's faster. Still pretty bad. Gosh. challenges. Let's go to like very hard challenges. Yeah, something like this. This is good. We're jumping some steps here, but alright. Write a function that returns the length of the shortest sublist, whose sum of all elements strictly exceeds n. Write a function that returns the length of the shortest sublist of whose sum of all elements strictly exceeds n. All right, so basically we have a list, and what we want is the shortest returns the length of the shortest sublist whose sum of all elements. What does strictly exceeds mean? Note, the sublist should be composed of continuous elements from the original contiguous. If no, return -1. What does this mean? Sharing a common border or touching. Continuous. Okay. Next, together in sequence. All right. So basically the sublists have to be consecutive numbers. All right. All right, makes sense. Write a function that returns the length of the shortest sublist whose sum of all elements strictly exceeds n. Let's try and figure out what that means. Strictly greater than means the term is commonly used in the context of inequalities. The phrase strictly less means less than or and not equal to, which means greater than and not equal to. So we want greater than 9, okay, but not equal to 9. Okay, so the way I'm thinking of doing it is to incorporate many for loops. So basically what we could do is like we start with this index here and we loop through all the elements, and then we create a list like this, and then after that we just move to this one, and then we just create a list like this. Okay, hold on. So basically the first loop is gonna take this one as the first sublist, and then this as the first sublist, and then this, and so on and so forth until it reaches here, and then it's gonna move one index to the right, and it's gonna do this as the first sublist, and then this as the first sublist, and then this as the first sublist, and so on and so forth. So basically it's two nested for loops. All right, so basically for I in range, and then here we want to go, so basically we have the list, so here it's length is, we have to take the length of the list, and then here we want another for loop. We store it at index, hold on, we start at I want to start at index I and then end at I at length. Okay, so I want another for I want it to be nested inside the first for loop. So for j in range, and then here we start at I and we go all the way to same thing, length of list, like this, and the step obviously is 1. And then here what we can now do is create our sublist. All right. Uh, write a function that returns the length of the shortest sublist. Okay. Uh, hold on. Let's create a list here. Basically, no. What I want to do is just like print list, and then here what I want to go is from I. Hold on. I want to print this from I believe it's from I to J. Let's try this. I to J. And since I can't test it here, let me just open up a shell for Python so we can actually practice here. Maybe I shouldn't have jumped to such a hard problem from such easy problems anyway. So we have a syntax error like this from I and range. I think here it's commas maybe. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. So here it's commas. So J basically starts at I, it ends at length of list, and it moves by 1. And then now what I want to do is say min underscore length gth of a list. Let's create a simple list of 2, 3, and 0, and then here input any number because I mean we're not using it anyway. All right, so it starts here. Already we have a problem because I wanted to start with 2 and then 2, 3 and 2, 3, 0, but turns out there's, for some reason it starts with an empty list. It's shifted by 1. I don't understand why. It starts at 0 and it ends maybe like this. I'm not sure. Let's try to figure out how this could work. I'm trying to figure out all the possible sublists that could exist, but I feel like this would return an error. Let's try and test this. Yes, it's not what I wanted. Definitely not what I wanted. Let's L equals 2. Let's create that list 3 and 0. If I do L that goes from 0 to 3, what would happen? 2, 3, and 0. What if I do from 0 to 2? 2 and 3. 2, 3, J. So maybe J plus 1. Let's try this. Hold on. Min underscore length gth of L and let's say 9. So we get 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 0, and 0. So here we go. Here we have all the possible sublists. This is perfect. And the reason why it works is because this is not like normal array indexing. Like if we finish at length of list, it's gonna stop 1 before, so we need to add 1. All right, and now it works. It gives us basically all the possible sublists. And then here in the instructions, if we read this again, we want the length of the shortest sublist whose sum of all elements strictly exceeds n. I remember in Python there is a function sum of all elements in a list. I think there's, yes, sum. The sum function, if you enter a list, it will do the sum for you, which is a handy function to have. Let's try it here. If we do sum of L, which is 2, 3, and 0, should return 6 or 5. Yes, 5, 2 plus 3. Okay, so this is great that this function exists. so let's create um uh hold on, what should I create? Let me think here. Hmm. Okay, let's create sub arrays and initialize it to an empty array. And then basically we say if sum of this whole expression here is greater than n, what we want to do is we want to here whose sum of all elements what returns the length of the shortest. Okay, so here what we can do is so basically here it's length of subarrays, just make it a more specific name, and then we do L of subarrays dot append, and then here we append the sum right here, so the same expression. Okay, all right, so now we have a list of all the sums, and we have to return the minimum of that list, so L underscore subarrays, and I believe that should work. Should equal 1. Hold on, let me, so we get an error. Let's try and see where we messed up. Okay, now let's do minimum length GTH of our same list L, and the sum has to exceed 3. Hold on. I guess I have to print it. I'm still not sure what's going on here. Let's read this again. Write a function that returns the length of the shortest sublist whose sum of all elements strictly exceeds n. If no such sublist exists, return -1. Maybe that's where we messed up. If no such sublist exists, return -1. So return this Python this operator. Question mark operator. Okay, so hold on. Here, if length of L underscore sub arrays is equal to 0, we want to return -1. Otherwise, we just want to return the minimum of that array. Yes. So let's copy this, bring it here. X equals no. We first define our function like this. What? So I believe maybe it's the double equal that's creating the problem. So let's just bring this here, change it to a single. Nope. Invalid syntax. Alright, so in this case, let's say if length of sub L subarrays here is 0, we want to return -1, else we want to return the length of well, what we had before. No, we want to return the minimum of L subarrays. Okay, so this should work technically, but I believe we're getting some errors here. We got an error. 10 should, wait, hold on. We have 5 and 5, 2. This is what I'm printing, right? Or is this what they're testing? I believe that's where I'm printing here. So let's check it now. Instead of printing it, 10 should equal 1. Well, what are the tests here? So these are the tests that they're doing. Let's go here. Let me try and figure it out. Basically, if I do the first test, so that's what I input here, I should get 1. Let's print here, instead of printing the list itself, let's just print the sum of that list, like this. Alright, oh, I can't copy. I have to redefine the function. Alright, no problem. Let's just print here sum like this, add parentheses so that problem doesn't give me headaches. So this works. Let's take the first example that they have to offer and run it on min length, our min length gth function. All right, so basically we get 5, 15, 17, 19, 16, 19, -1. Well, how is the result 1? So, write a function that returns the length of the shortest sub list, the sum of all elements. All right, so okay, this is the sum. So okay, what I have to append here is the length, not the sum. So this is where the problem comes in. Here I append the sum, I have to append the length, because we're trying to figure out if the length is greater, not if the sum is greater. Now let's check it. So basically, if the sum is greater, you append the length, and now it works. Perfect. And this was it for our very hard problem. So what we did, let's recap. Basically what we did a very easy problem. I believe we did a medium problem here. Oh, we didn't do a medium problem, so let's do a medium problem here. We just did easy problems. We did a very hard problem right now. Let's do a medium problem. This is going to be our last example. The right shift operation is similar to floor division by power of 2. Sample calculation using the right shift operator. Floor by power of 2. What does that mean? Yeah, so let's try and look at the example, the sample calculation they give us. 80 floor of 80 over 2 to the 2 power. Okay, floor. What does floor do? Python. Floor method. Let's try and look at this. Our function, blah, 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 returns the largest integer not greater than x. Floor. Okay, okay. So if the number is negative, it brings it down 1 unit, and if it's positive, it still brings it down 1 unit. So basically, it just brings it down 1 unit, regardless if it's negative or positive. All right, and this what this does is like it takes the number and it does 2 to this power, so 2 to the power of 3 to divided by, and it floors it. Okay, write a function that mimics without using this operator, the right shift operator, and it returns the result from the two without using this. Returns the result the two given integer. All right, it's pretty easy because they give us the calculation right here. So x is the first number, and then the second number. So what we do is simply return x divided by 2 to the power of y, and we just floor this. Is that how we type floor? Did I mess it up? No, I don't think I messed it up. Name floor is not defined. Import math. Math.floor. Math.floor. Let's import math. Mimic without the use the right shift and return the result. All right. So it works. Great. Let's submit or whatever. Did I submit the hard problem? Anyway. All right. So this was it for today's video on just doing some Python problems. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty interesting, especially the hard problems with the sub this one. This was pretty interesting. If you didn't understand why I did some things, feel free to comment in the video description. I thought I was pretty clear, but maybe it was clear in my head. I don't know if it was clear for you guys. If you have any video suggestions, make sure to follow us on Instagram as well. But we're going to be changing our name, the DL Academies. If you guys have any interesting name proposition, well, feel free to add them in the comment as well. Anyway, make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.